Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, it's time to start tearing down the Triumph motor. Yeah, I said Triumph motor. I have a 79 Triumph Spitfire that at some point I'm hoping this motor will go into. But actually this is for the Mustang. This one is supposedly rebuilt. I gotta tear it apart, make sure everything is what it says it is, do some things to it, and I'm going to put it in the Mustang when I tear that one apart and rebuild it. I have a 302 in the Mustang. This is a 289. It is a 65 Mustang that has a 302 out of a 68 Mustang. So I would like to put that motor back in. This is supposedly also bored 30 over, so we'll see. They're basically the same thing. This is a 289, that's a 302. So if I'm happy with what power this is putting out in that car, then I'll probably put the 302 in the Triumph. But that's beside the point and a long ways down the road. I have too many other projects right now. I'll be lucky if I get the Triumph done in my lifetime. So as of now, we are just starting to tear down this 289 Mustang for now motor. And to start that, I'm going to take off all this front stuff here. Basically, I want to get this stuff out of my way to start tearing into this, so right now I'm just going to take off all the front pieces. Now, when I was, if you watched my video where I got this, it's like a shop update slash Craigslist haul thing, I said that this didn't look like what was in my Mustang, and I thought it was some sort of serpentine thing, but then I realized it kind of wasn't in that video. But it actually is very similar to what's in my Mustang, and then the power steering pump and stuff comes off over here, and it hooks to something else. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't look at it. I finally unburied the front of my Mustang. That was part of the problem. It's been buried for so long I forgot what it looked like. But this looks identical to the motor that's in there right now. So the only thing on this that's kind of good is it's got shiny stuff on it, and quite honestly, not a big fan of shiny stuff, so I don't like cleaning it. Now, one other thing, when I bought this, I asked him if I could turn it over. He said that was fine, and I put a wrench on here and tried turning it over, and it turned over, but there's no spark plugs in it at all, and it definitely turned over more difficult than I would have liked. So I don't know if that's just because it's a brand new motor that hasn't been broken in yet. And also, if you didn't watch the other video, when I bought this, he did say that when he went in here and kind of checked things and looked at things, he noticed everything was gooey. So it had assembly lube on it, and assembly lube is gooey, but I don't know. For some reason, he said he cleaned it all out of there. So I am going to go in. That's the main reason why I'm pulling this apart, is I'm going to go in and go ahead and put assembly lube back into this motor is my plan. And while I'm in there doing that, I'll be able to check all the specs on it and all those kind of things. So that is my plan for this motor. So later on down the road, we'll be doing those things, kind of looking at the specs. Yet again, like I said in that video, I have never really done a whole complete motor. I've done parts and pieces and taken stuff off and put stuff on, that kind of mechanical stuff, but I have never completely all the way through by myself rebuilt a motor. So we'll be going along for a ride together. I'm going to start out with a 9/16 on here. There would have been another bolt going through here, but that was already taken off when we were looking at stuff on the motor. First I'm going to try and see if I can pull this off here, the belt. Go ahead and take that, stick that up there for now, and I'm going to pull off the alternator. This is a 9/16 through here, and it will fall as soon as I get it completely undone. And I know where the other bolt is, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of keep things where they should be and not lose anything. I'm going to go ahead and stick this back in here with the washer that was on it. And that'll make me know that. And then I got a box here, which I'm gonna stick that down inside for now and set it aside. Now the rest of these things appear to be, well, you know what, actually I do have 9/16 down here. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull off this pulley down here. That way it'll hopefully stay shiny. Oh, no. And it is also a 9/16. Hopefully it won't turn. Yeah, I don't think any of the nuts and bolts on this thing were torqued down, so I do worry a little bit. Yet again, I know what I paid for this motor, and I'll be out there. For all the stuff I got, if you go watch my shop update / Craigslist haul video, and I'll have it in my Mustang playlist. If you go watch that, all the stuff I got in that video, I paid $1,700 for. So I got this motor and all that stuff for $1,700. He won, and the transmission. I got a transmission with it, which I've been trying to sell and nobody seems to want. So I gotta keep going out on the price until somebody wants it. I got I think it's an 83, which I thought he said it was a 03, but I think he just was misinformed or mistaken or said something wrong. But 03, it's an overdrive, but it's a 4-speed, but the fourth is technically an overdrive transmission. So if anybody out there wants it, leave a message below, and if you want to pay for shipping and offer me, I don't know, I'd take 300 bucks for it. I'm hoping I get out of it. I'd be happy. But regardless, I paid $1,700 for everything, and he wanted $18 just for the motor and transmission. So I think I did pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. But on the other hand, this motor could be, you know, I know it's not seized, but it could be it's not rebuilt too. We shall see. That's mostly why I'm tearing it apart, is there's definitely questionable things about this motor, so on whether or not it is what I supposedly bought. But yet again, like I said, I knew that I was not spending more than what it was actually worth in the first place, because I know I can get it running. And all the cleaning work's been done for me, so worst case scenario. Alright, so that pulley, a bunch of 9/16 bolts and washers, then the pulley, and then there's a couple of shims here. There's a fatter one and then a round one here. So I have it on video. If you aren't videoing what you're tearing apart, make sure you keep track of all that stuff. And I'm going to stick that down in another box here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts with that. I normally would take and put the bolts back on here, but I don't know what my plan is for if I'm going to probably end up pulling that off or not. So regardless. Now the rest of these seem to be 1/2 inch. So far anyways. This might, yeah. Like I said, I don't think any of these were completely torqued to spec, because I probably shouldn't be able to hold on to that and pull that off. Although yet again, anytime you rebuild something or do something like this, you want to recheck your torque on everything anyway. And like, I would assume there should be some Loctite on some of these, and they are perfectly clean. So to each their own. I knew I was going to be pulling this apart anyway. This just makes it easier. Yet again, got a little box here I got these in, just to kind of keep things separate and apart. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull these off. That's a 9/16, that's a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to pull these off of here just to get them out of the way. The alternator brackets. and that'll probably be part of the water pump as well. So you want to keep track of what's where. Yet again, I'm going to have video to go back to, so this bottom one is pretty darn long. So I'm going to set that up here for now. Kind of keep track of all the ones I'm taking out. Okay. This also had a washer. It appeared to be up underneath here as well. So that's going to need to be probably put back underneath there to be able to line the belts and things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on with this bolt here for now. And yet again, video. This appears like it has a washer behind here as well. So this bracket has a washer on the outside and a washer on the inside. And it's not near as long, which you can tell because it didn't go any further than this right here. So that one, top of this bracket. I'm wondering, that one I'm going to go ahead and just put back in loosely. So hopefully I won't lose anything. Let's see, that's a 9/16 for that one. And this probably will be a long one that also goes all the way through and holds in the water pump. Nope, it's a tiny short one. So yet again, you got the bolt and then the bracket and then a washer in between the bracket and the bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. Quite honestly, this does not look like the right type of bolt, I don't know, that goes in here. But yet again, I've never pulled a water pump off of a 302 Ford, to be honest. I never had a lot of Fords when I was a kid. My dad was more of a Chevy guy. I don't have a brand loyalty to any cars or trucks. I would say I'm more of a Chevy guy, but I drive mostly Fords, and I have a Jeep, and I like Chevys. The only Chevy I have now is my truck right now that I can think of. So I really am not a brand loyalty kind of person, and I don't think you have to be. Alright, so now we have the water pump, which is turning fine and fairly freely. He wasn't sure if this was brand new or just painted, so, but it looks pretty new. These are nice and shiny here, and I don't think if it had been used that these would be all shiny like this. So I'm pretty sure that's a new water pump. Let's see, pulled that one off. Now this is definitely where you got to pay attention to what you're pulling off. It is also a 1/2 inch as well. Because you don't have to pull every single one of these off. This water pump will come off the block, and it'll just come off the front if you want to do stuff in there. Right now that's what we're planning on here. So this long one that was in here, there's this one here that's not quite so long. This one should be about the same as that one, I would think. Yep, that's about the same there. And then, hopefully it doesn't come flying off or anything. Usually these, even right off the bat, are stuck on there. You know what? The more I look at this, I am incorrect. We got to pull them all out, and it's just going to be this front piece that comes off of here. So got these 4 out so far. This one does not need to come out for any reason. There's one here and one here. and 2 up here. So I'm going to pull all the outer ones out and then pull the inner ones out. There might be a specific way you should pull these apart too, because like I said, I do think this is fairly new and has never really been worked on. Oh crud. It kind of appears that there's a couple bolts down here that either broke off in here or they go from the other side. We'll see. Well, it felt like it kind of loosened things up, so here we go. We got these 2 outer ones, which are the same. We got these upper shorter ones. Which are the same. We got these 2 here, which are not the same. Let's see here. Is this the same probably as those? Let's see. Yeah, those are the same there. And this is probably the same as those as well. Nope. This is completely different all on its own. Yet again, I actually didn't think I'd have to pull that out, but I think I do. I think so. These ones are different here. So that one's definitely on its own. This one, you shouldn't need to pull this out. It's definitely kind of its own thing. These 2 here are probably similar to the ones up there. We'll see. Nope, they're a completely different size as well. Nope. So they're similar to the shortest ones. At least that one is. This one didn't have a washer on it. The washer's stuck on there. Yeah, this one didn't have a washer on it. It's kind of all, no. So that's the same as these. I need to get a washer for this one. For some reason that one never had a washer put on it. And I am really hoping that there are not 2 broken ones down here. There's not. Alright. That pulls off your water pump. So right here and here, there are 2 studs on the bottom going into here. Don't know why. I'm assuming at some point there on another motor or plate there was a couple more places down here to keep it from leaking, but it is not on this one. That also keeps, there's that plate on right here. Alright, well, there you go. Now we all know what it takes to take off the water pump and all the front end accessories, because I think that's how far I'm going to go for today, because all this is like timing chain stuff under here and all that. So when I get to that, I will be figuring that out. I know this probably went too long. It's just pulling off the front accessories, but hopefully you got something out of it. You enjoyed it. At the very least, I have a video of where to put my stuff back at. That's mainly why I was kind of doing this, and it was supposed to be short, but I don't seem to be able to make anything short. So I will probably have a shorter version of this video, so go check that out if you got bored already and left, in which case you wouldn't be here, so never mind. Alright, thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.